We just got some major injury updates for you regarding the Dallas Cowboys as they head into the weekend. They'll face the Detroit Lions on Sunday at 4:25 Eastern Time, and they're about to get some serious help, and they desperately needed it. So let's break it down and much more on this episode of Cowboys Digest. Welcome in, everybody, to Cowboys Digest. I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, and today we'll be breaking down the major injury updates that we received from Jerry Jones himself concerning the Dallas Cowboys and the numerous injuries that they have had throughout the first 5 weeks of the season. But before we get into the video, I want to let you know that a large percentage of you watching are not subscribed. So go ahead, hit that sub button. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps me out a ton. We already hit our goal of 1,500 subscribers, so it'd mean the world to me if you could help me get to, let's say, 2,000 within the next couple of days. I think it's very doable because your support has been off the wall. So let's get straight into it right here. Speaking of 1053, the fan, Jerry Jones said that left tackle Tyler Guyton has a good chance of playing versus Detroit. Defensive end Micah Parsons is iffy, and it's not impossible. And corner DaRon Bland to be activated off the IR, but didn't think it would happen. So that's the good news right there. Tyler Guyton is going to be in. Micah Parsons has a chance when it was originally expected to be at least a few weeks. And DaRon Bland, that's the real good news, which we'll get into very shortly. But this is the bad news here. Marshon Kneeland will undergo surgery on his knee, so he did already. This happened on Tuesday. He did not have a timeline, but Kneeland is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks. So a devastating injury there for the high draft pick, who showed some pretty good signs against the Steelers before he ultimately had to be forced out of that football game. But this is the very good news that I want to break to you guys. And with Stephen Jones telling Nick Eatman that there's a good chance DaRon Bland will play Sunday, the Cowboys have officially started his practice window as he comes back from foot surgery. This is huge, and especially heading into a weekend matchup against the Detroit Lions, you need all hands on deck. And getting back the guy who finished first in interceptions last year in the NFL, who set a record for most pick sixes in a season with 5, it cannot be understated how important he's going to be lining up alongside Trevon Diggs in that secondary. And Diggs hasn't really been getting thrown at too much. He's been doing a good job in coverage. He's been locking down opponents, maybe not getting the interceptions that we've seen from him in the past, but that's the biggest compliment to a corner when they're just not even testing your side of the field. So that's how good Trevon Diggs has been ever since starting the season. And getting DaRon Bland back, that's another ball hawk that you're adding to your secondary. So this is huge news and very positive news for the Dallas Cowboys, who need all the help that they can get on the defensive side of the ball. Don't get me wrong, they were fantastic against Pittsburgh, but they are not world beaters on the offensive side of the football. So getting back as much help as you can, whether it's in your secondary or your defensive front, I think it can't be understated. And if Micah Parsons, can get back in the lineup here, that is going to be another huge help that the Cowboys are going to have at their disposal. The Lions have one of the best offenses, if not the best offense in all of football. They're going to be able to move the ball all game long. It's whether or not you can stop them from scoring touchdowns. That is what's going to determine you winning the football game and getting blown out on your home turf for a third week in the past 4 games there. So it's going to be a tough test. Detroit's a very good football team, and they've been showing that all season long. They're just solid. And especially with Amon-Ra St. Brown, with Jameson Williams, with Jahmyr Gibbs in the backfield, David Montgomery, you're going to need those weapons in the secondary. And DaRon Bland, a guy who has a chance to create turnovers, and even if he's on a minutes restriction, even if he's on a plays restriction, him being in there is going to deter the Lions from doing some of the things that they've been doing for the first 5 weeks of the season. They're 3-1. They've been stomping everybody on the offensive side of the football, and having 2 ball hawks in there in Trevon Diggs and DaRon Bland, that definitely helps your case in trying to stop them. You can't really stop them, but you can hope to contain them, and DaRon Bland gives you the best chance of doing so. So great news on that front. And you can see the stats there. 9 interceptions last season for DaRon Bland. He had 5 touchdowns and 5 interceptions in his rookie year as well. So this is a guy who came in as a ball hawk, and he's been a ball hawk ever since he's stepped onto a National Football League field for the Dallas Cowboys. So great to see him back. Hopefully he can be up to full speed and not miss a beat, but it's going to be a tough matchup for him. Talk about getting thrown right into the fire against Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jamison Williams. We'll see who he's covering in the offset there, but it's just exciting to have him back. There's no doubt. I don't know what he's going to provide right off the jump. I don't know if he's going to be the same player. It was a pretty significant injury that kept him out for some weeks, and he's only started practicing now. So there's going to be some rust that needs to be shaken off there by Bland. But there's no doubt that he is going to provide a little bit more substance than Oruwariye or Booth or Kalen Carson as well, who is out right now. So I love those guys. I love what they've provided in the absence of DaRon Bland. But let's make no mistake here. DaRon Bland is all pro. He's a Pro Bowler. He is a guy who is one of the best at his position in the National Football League. And even if he is a little bit rusty, I will take him over 90% of the corners in the league today. That's how solid this guy is. So DaRon Bland, great to have him back. Hopefully he can find some magic and regain some of that momentum that he had from last season. Because 9 interceptions and 5 pick sixes, that is no joke, man. That is no joke. So let's take a look at the overall participation here in practice. So Kalen Carson is back fully, as is Trevon Diggs. Tyler Guyton, he was a full participant in practice. Micah Parsons did not practice. Eric Kendricks did not practice either. That's more precautionary. Marquise Bell with an illness was held out. So nothing too crazy to report back to you guys, although Tyler Guyton is expected to be back in there. I will say this, though, about the offensive line, and it's no shot at Tyler Guyton, but they looked better as a unit when Tyler Smith moved over to left tackle and you had Bass in the left guard position. So I don't know if this is a blueprint going forward. Terrence Steele has been okay. He's been limiting the damage in a sense, but still nothing too crazy. So maybe they could split time at right tackle because that is Guyton's predominant side, and he is better on the right-hand side of the line. So I don't know. That's just something to chew on there. It's something to think about. I liked the line a lot better when Guyton was out of the game. And it's no shot to him. I think he's got insane potential. He's a big body, extremely athletic, but right now, at this current moment in time, I don't know if having him starting at left tackle over Tyler Smith is what is best for this football team. So it's going to be something to evaluate going forward. I still like him in long-term projections. I still think he's going to be an all-pro caliber player. Maybe not an all-pro, but a Pro Bowl caliber player, and he'll get there someday. But at this moment, the Cowboys are trying to win football games, and I think giving yourself the best chance to win a football game is with Tyler Smith at left tackle. That's just me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think of all these guys coming back from injury and providing some relief to the Cowboys? Let me know in the comments down below. And again, make sure to hit that sub button because a large majority of you watching are not subscribed. And it would mean the world to me. So go ahead and do that. We're close to my new goal of 2,000 subscribers. So shout out to you guys for making it this far. And hopefully the Cowboys can move to 4-2 after another W against the Detroit Lions on Sunday at 4:30. That'll wrap it up for this episode of Cowboys Digest. I will see you all tomorrow. It's going to be a very busy weekend, a lot of news coming out, so you won't want to miss it. Make sure to hit that sub button and stay up to date on everything that you need to know about the Dallas Cowboys, because I got you covered on that front. So see you tomorrow, and go Cowboys.